Well, yesterday we left Palmyra and the desert. We drove, as I said, across the desert for 200 or 300 kilometers, I think. Ended up in the town of Hama, which is in the Orontes Valley. Very, very different, very green, very fertile. A nice little town, well, a nice big town actually. And we spent the night there. Very, very cold, again, I must admit. And then from Hama, we've gone up into the mountains a little bit, along the ridge that separates the Mediterranean from the Syrian desert. And here we've arrived in Crac de Chevaliers. So Crac de Chevaliers is one of the most complete Crusader castles in the region. It was originally built around 1000 AD by a local sultan, but when it was taken over by the Crusaders, it was extensively rebuilt in about 1200. And when the Muslims retook the Holy Land, the Crusaders left in the castle actually surrendered. So it's never been stormed, and that's why it's in such good shape. So it's absolutely fantastic castle, great views of the surrounding countryside, that's for sure, and lots of little nooks and crannies inside to explore. And of course, need I say, not very many tourists around. There are actually quite a few Crusader castles in the region, and this is one we passed on the way called Musayaf. I couldn't resist putting this picture in. There are actually quite a few Christians living in Syria and around Crac de Chevaliers, and this is just a little display that we saw in one of these villages that we passed. Whoa, this is a rather shaky video of another very impressive ancient site in Syria. It's the Roman town of Apamea, and as you can see from the video, the best part of the town is the 2 kilometre long stretch of road that runs through. It's been extensively reconstructed, but still it's an extremely impressive set of ruins. Well, another day, another ruin. Today we are in the dead city of Syria, and it's one of, I think there are about 10 or maybe even 20 of these so-called dead cities, about 100, 200 kilometers south of Aleppo. This place was abandoned 1500 years ago, and no one knows why, and it's still in really good shape. And like a lot of the places in Syria, we're here all alone. There's just us, and I don't know if you can hear in the background a couple of tractor drivers, because they still work the land around here, but I think they're just clearing stones at the moment. But it's an amazing place. It's the buildings here are all, or a lot of them are still intact, or as intact as they might have been, 1,000 years ago. And then the people just left. But as you can see, just a fantastic place. Back in Hama, we saw some crazy forms of transport, including these little trucks, which seem to have been put together by hand. We also saw some big old American cars, which look great. But what Hama is famous for in Syria is its water wheels, which have been here since the year 500 AD. They've all been rebuilt since then, but the ones we saw were at least a couple of hundred years old. Here's a guy with his camel, and here's the night market. There is of course delicious food in Syria, including these dips and of course Arabic sweets. Absolutely delicious.